Hey guys, what's up everyone? It's Jackie Felix here, and today I just want to give you guys a quick overall guide on the new grind spot in Odalita, which is the land of Turos. Now, most people probably be grinding the spot to obtain this item here, which is the Fallen God's Armor, otherwise known as the Dead God Armor. And you have to grind the new Turos spot to be able to obtain the Flame item in order to make the Dead God Armor. So just looking at our map here, we can see that the grind spot is 270 Kunum AP recommended in a party of 2. And it's pretty close to Old Wisdom Tree. Now in terms of rotations, I think there's around 2 rotations. The one that myself and Ankles are doing is or like to call it either the road or the cliff rotation, and I think there's also a water/swamp rotation next to the Turos icon here. Now, I'll go through rotations in a bit later, but I just want to go through quickly the money per hour. So in total, we grinded around about 28 hours, probably closer to 30 hours. And if you can look at this Excel sheet here, we can see the rough values in terms of money per hour. So before tax, it's around 184 mil an hour, and then after tax, it's around 166 mil an hour. Now, with this trash loot per hour, you gotta realize that this is in combination with Agris and also, yeah, so this is a combination of Agris and non-Agris. And essentially, without Agris, we were making around 2.7 to 3k with blue loot scroll an hour. And then with Agris, we're making, I think the highest we got was around 6.6k trash an hour. I'll say that Agris is, this spot is pretty good for Agris because I think when I had around 90 or 100k Agris, it took like around 5 to 6 hours for the Agris to kind of fall off or become empty while grinding the spot. And the thing I realize with the Land of Turos is that there's not that many mobs, but the mobs do drop a decent amount of trash, and they can also drop multiple blackstones as well. So they can drop between 2 to 3 blackstones essentially. And so you can see through the 28 hours, we're getting on average around about 2.3 or 2.5 embers an hour. Most of these embers will probably come from the boss spawn, which I'll have a clip to show you later. And the belt drop's pretty rare. So in the total 28 hours, I only got 2 belts. So the belt drop rate isn't that high, and the max value in KR right now is 342 mil. And the max price for the flame, which you need 100 embers to make, is valued at 600 mil each. So yeah, and I'm also not sure what the value of the Turos heart or the Turos blood as well. So this spot could easily be over 200 mil an hour, even if you don't get the belt drop. The problem with it is that it does require a bunch, like, I wouldn't really recommend grinding Turos if you have below like 340 DP, since the mobs can hit very hard, especially around nighttime. And also you gotta watch out for the boss's special attacks. Some of them can almost they do like 60% of my HP during some of their special attacks, and it happens pretty fast. So you need to be careful. Probably ideal to bring some whale potions or whale elixirs to this grind spot. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you guys some clips of the various pulls that I do now with my partner. And then at the end, I'm going to show you myself turning in my dim tree and flame to obtain the Fallen God, Dead God armor, and then myself enhancing it, the Dead God to Duo. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Now, before we go into the rotations, I just want to quickly go through the location where you can place your tent. since this road rotation is pretty healing. So you can place your tent here at my location, and then from here you can repair your gear and also revealer. Now I think there's also 2 daily quests at Turos spot which rewards you with Caphras. So if you can get that NPC and get that daily, it's probably worth it since you're going to be grinding these mobs anyways. Now the other mechanic is the boss spawn at the tourist spot. So you can either get 2 messages. One of them pretty much means that you're closest spawning a boss, or either I think another party running area has spawned a boss. And then the other message says essentially that you're gonna be spawning a boss. Now, what happens when you spawn the boss is essentially you'll need to kill 3 elites first before you can damage the boss. And then after you kill the 3 elites, the boss will come towards you and start charging at you. It's pretty hard to get knowledge on the boss. I think even after almost 30 hours of grinding, I still don't have knowledge on it. But yeah, however, once you do kill the boss, it's probably the best way to either get the embers or the flame. Probably has the highest drop rate chance, and as you can see later on when we kill the boss here, it will drop anywhere between like say 30 to 60 or 70 trash loot. And then also they'll usually drop a Toro blood, Toro heart, and here I got Ember of Despair, so you need 100 of these to make the flame for the dead god. You also can get between 2 to 4 Caphras stone. Now the blackstone weapons, the blackstone armors, and the trash loot here. So in total, each kill gets you anywhere between 15 to maybe sometimes 20-25 mil per boss. Is definitely worth doing. So yeah, but definitely you need to watch out for this boss, especially around nighttime. The other thing I wanted to explain real quick is that there's 2 boss spawns in this rotation. Both of them will show in the video. And apart from that, during the rotations, we do 7 packs, essentially like 6 or 7 pulls. And I'll have them numbered, and I'll get a map showing you the rotation that we do as well. So it's pretty clear and pretty obvious. Now, the key to grinding Turos is knowing how to pull the mobs properly, especially if you're pulling multiple packs. The thing you got to realize with the Turos grind spot is that the mobs are pretty dumb. They have a pretty short aggro range, and you need to especially watch out for the range mobs, which is the warriors and the scouts. So the mobs that throw the spears and the rocks. So once you aggro the warriors and scout, you realize what we do is we immediately try to get out of their ranged aggro range, so that they transition to melee and start walking towards the pack that we're pulling towards. So essentially, if you do have the option to pull the mobs towards the ranged warriors and scouts, that's probably ideal. However, you also got to realize you don't want to pull them too far, or else they'll end up de-aggroing, and you'll lose a decent amount of time per pack if they do end up de-aggroing and need to aggro them again. Now, the other thing I realized as well grinding this spot is that they do have a decent amount of CCs. I'm not sure if the knockdown is either KD or bound, but essentially you gotta watch out for when they're doing their heavy or ranged attacks. And then apart from that, once you get them below a certain amount of HP, they'll start doing a raw AoE raw ability, which does the stun, which is pretty annoying. So during those animation cast times, you might want to properly rotate from guards or super armors so you don't end up getting chain CC'd. And apart from that, the towers as well, I believe, have a bound or a knockdown when they're charging up their attack. So yeah, those are the kind of CCs you need to look out for. And lastly, I just want to say that if you're ever going to use the 50% loot drop temp buff, it's probably best to use it at a tourist spot because the mobs do have a pretty high chance to drop the blackstones and Caphras and dust. And then apart from that, also if you're going for Dead God, it's probably ideal to pop the 50% tent drop buff to get that grind through as fast as possible. So yeah, essentially after almost 30 hours of grinding, I did eventually obtain my flame item drop. This is after I got like 65 embers already, and pretty much already thought that I was going to be here until I got 100 embers. But it's a pretty RNG spot. It's pretty crazy how someone, I think my partner Ankles got his flame drop in the first hour, and then he actually ended up getting another one. So you got 2 flames. So you can either come here and expect to grind, a couple hours and obtain the flame for Dead God, or you can essentially be here for like 30, 40, 50 hours grinding for the Dead God armor. It's pretty RNG spot, but don't get too demotivated. And probably spread out your grind over the course of a week. Don't like go for like a crazy 40-hour grind session. That's not really that healthy for you. But yeah, anyways, guys, the rest of the video is gonna be pretty much myself obtaining the Dead God armor, which you can do at the bottom of the Helm's Post in Medaya, and enhancing it from prior to Duo as well. I say I'm pretty RNG carried by one tapping the Duo. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something useful. If you guys have any comments or feedback, leave them in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Let's go. It's almost there. Oh no, I fucked it up! I didn't know I had to type in the numbers. Ah, it's scuffed. Oh, what the fuck? We one-tapped it! Wait, I'm fucking boosted, dude! Holy shit!